Hello students, welcome to part 2 of Animal Race. Okay, so the bat and the dog both need scripts to make them race or to make them move. Okay, alright, so let's click on the cat sprite from the sprites list. Let's click on the cat sprite and you'll see that we've already built a script here, so we're going to add one little thing to the end of it. So let's go to the events blocks and then we're going to look for broadcast message. So we're going to grab a broadcast message block and snap it underneath the rest of the script here. Okay? All right. So now let's click on the down arrow. And right now we have only message 1 and new message. So we're going to click on new message and we're going to type in start race. So that's the message that's going to be sent to the other sprites. Start race and then click OK. Okay. All right. So this message gets broadcast out to the other sprites. So let's click on the dog sprite. Okay. The dog sprite. And we've already got a script. So we're going to build another script underneath it or beside it, either one. Okay. This script is going to be a little bit longer. So it's very important that you're grabbing the right blocks. All right, so let's click on the events blocks and let's start with when I receive. Now you can build it here to the side or you can build it underneath. It doesn't matter as long as it's not touching the first script. So when I receive, when the dog receives the message start race, okay, this is what's going to happen. We're going to grab a control block and we're going to grab a forever block. So let's go to the control blocks and grab a forever block. Okay, so inside this forever loop is going to be kind of a complicated script here. All right, so we're going to build it one step at a time. All right, so let's grab two wait until blocks. Wait until, and we're going to grab two of them and we're going to kind of line them up one over top of the other. Let's go to the sensing blocks, the light blue blocks, the sensing blocks, and we're going to look for key, okay, key pressed. So we're going to grab two of these key pressed buttons. Now the magic button that's going to control the dog movement is going to be M. So let's go down, let's scroll down and find the M key. So when key M is pressed, and then we're going to do the same thing for the second one when key M is pressed. All right. Now this block here, the key M is pressed, can go inside the hole here of the wait until block. Okay? That should be able to go right inside that little opening here. Okay? Now we can't do that for the second one yet. So let's go to the operators blocks and let's find a not block. Let's move that over. And you'll see how the not block has a hole in it as well. So the second key M pressed block can go inside the green not block. And then the green not block can go inside the wait until. So you see how this block actually has 3 blocks within it. So please make sure that yours looks exactly like mine. All right, these 2 blocks can be snapped together now. Okay, so what this does is when we're moving the dog, you have to press M, but then you have to let go of M for the dog to move. So that prevents you from just holding the M key down. This is very important for programming. All right, let's go to the motion blocks and let's grab a move 10 steps. Move 10 steps and we'll snap it underneath here. Okay, then we'll go to the looks blocks and then we'll have it change costume. So let's see, where is that? Next costume here. Next costume, and then we'll snap it into place. So every time that your character, the dog, moves 10 steps, it's going to switch to the next costume. Now remember, the alternating back and forth between the 2 costumes makes it look like the dog is walking or running. All right, let's go back to the control blocks and let's grab an if-then loop. We'll snap that underneath. If-then loop. Okay? Let's go to the sensing blocks, the light blue sensing blocks, and we're looking for a touching question mark block. Okay, so we don't want it to touch the mouse pointer. We want it to detect the dog finish sprite. Remember, the dog finish sprite is the yellow balloon. So when it detects that it's touching the dog finish, so we'll put that touching dog finish block into the top arm of the if then block. If it senses that it's touching the finish line, then we're going to go to control and we're going to grab a stop all block, a stop all block. We're going to place it inside that if then loop. So when the dog finishes, when it touches that finish line, the program stops. Okay, now this whole complicated script now is going to go inside this forever loop. So when you grab them, they should all be stuck together, and then you just need to position them inside that forever loop. So that forever loop now goes around all of those scripts. Okay? All right. So let's go on to the next part. So let's just test how this works. So let's go to File, Save, and then let's click on the green flag. And then when it says Go, I want you to rapidly press the M button, and you'll see that the dog is now walking or running across the screen. And then when the dog touches the finish line, you should the program should stop. So no matter how many times you press the M, the game has finished. Okay? So if anything doesn't work carefully, you got to go back and look at your scripts. Okay, so we're going to do the same type of programming for the bat. So now, from the sprites list, let's click on the bat. Okay, now the bat, remember, has this very simple script already, and already we've told it to go to the starting position. So let's create a similar script. All right, we've done this once before, so let's see if we can do it a little bit faster. So let's go to Events. Let's start with when I receive the start race message. We'll go to Control, and we'll grab a forever block and snap it into place. We'll grab two wait until blocks. Wait until. We'll go to the sensing blocks, and we'll grab a key. Key pressed, we'll grab one of those and a second one of those. So to control the bat, we're going to choose a different key, and we're going to choose the Z key. Okay, so let's find the Z key here, and let's program both of these blocks to use the Z key. Okay, so when Z is pressed, Now remember the first one, when the key Z is pressed, can go into the wait until block here, no problem. But for the second one, we have to create the opposite situation. So we'll go to Operators, and we'll grab a not block, and we'll just place it here. So the first thing is we're going to move the key Z press block inside the not block, and then we're going to grab the not block and put it inside the wait until block. Now remember, we did this once before. Please check it carefully. All right, so let's snap these two wait until blocks together. All right, let's go to the motion block, and we'll go move 10 steps. We'll snap it underneath, and then we'll go to the looks blocks, and we'll grab a next costume. So again, remember the bat has two costumes that we want to alternate between. Okay, let's go back to Control, and let's grab an if-then loop. If-then. We'll go to Sensing, and if it is touching, and then we'll change the mouse pointer to this time. We want to sense that it touches the bat finish. The bat finish. So now this touching block, programmed for bat finish, is going to go inside the top arm of the if-then block. Make sure you didn't put it inside the loop, but in the top arm of the if-then block. And then we'll go to Control, and we'll grab a Stop All button, and we'll place it inside the if-then loop. Okay? All right, so make sure you check this part of the script very, very carefully. Okay, so we're going to snap this whole script inside the forever loop here. So now it should be inside the forever loop. Okay, so let's go to File, Save. Okay, so now we're going to test our game. We're going to click on the green flag, and then I want you to have your fingers on the M and the Z key, and I want you to have erase. And you should see now both the dog and the bat. The bat should be flapping its wings, the dog should be moving its legs, and when one of those racers reaches their finish line, the game should end. Okay, so we're going to add two minor things here. So let's go click on the cat sprite again. Okay, so make sure you've clicked on the cat sprite. And we've got a simple script here. So we're going to have a look here towards the bottom. We're going to have the cat say go, and then we're going to broadcast the start race message. So we're going to have now the cat, the sprite, now say something. So let's go to sounds, okay? And then we're going to grab a play sound meow button, and we're going to pop it underneath the broadcast start race. Now when we use the cat sprite, it automatically comes loaded with the meow sound. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to move the cat sprite kind of out of the way of the racer. So you need to decide if that's going to be in between the two race paths or above the race path here. Okay, so let's test what we've done. So let's click on the green arrow, the green flag, and when the cat is displaying go, you should also hear that meow sound. Did it work? Okay, so we're going to do one last thing, is instead of counting up 1, 2, 3, go, we're going to have the cat do something else. So let's look at the cat script here, and we're going to change just a few things. So where it says set count to 0, I want you to change the 0 to 4, then hit enter. We're going to keep the repetitions to 3 times. But then we're going to change the count by -1. So before we try anything, can you figure out what that does? If you think you figured it out, let's see what happens. So let's click on the green flag. And we're going to stop the game. And hopefully you notice that now the cat is counting down. 3, 2, 1, meow. Okay, so that concludes this simple game, Animal Race. All right, so let's go to File, Save, and I'd like you to put up your hand and call Mr. Ueda over to show him your project. Thanks for watching. Bye.